They did it. The Sixers finally won a basketball game. They got back in the dub column. They did it in blowout fashion. And even more, this team learned a valuable lesson last night that Nick Nurse and the coaching staff must carry forward if they want to turn it around. So we'll talk about what that is. We take another look at the Paul George injury as well. Is there cause for concern? Should the Sixer fan base be a little bit worried about Jared McCain after his recent struggles? And the team reveals what their plan is moving forward. A lot of people are not going to like it, but we will jump in and talk about what it means. Welcome in Philly Take with RB. Do me a huge solid. Go down below. Like this video at the end if you do enjoy it. And subscribe to the channel. We give you the coverage every single day. It's been a while since we got on here and talked about a win. I mean, the Sixers actually did it from start to finish last night, despite almost collapsing there in the second quarter, an 18-point lead they jumped out to, and they did all the little things last night. They, got second chance points. They boxed out. They had the hustle plays. They bullied the Detroit Pistons. And all season, despite everything going on, despite the injuries, despite guys being out, I get it. The chemistry in the locker room's not good. If they just did what they did last night, I'm sure they would have a handful of more wins. Like the Sixers went out and played like an actual competent unit. Even though they were shorthanded, they actually ran a damn offense. They were moving around, but there's a reason for that. And we'll talk about that. But I think we do just have to have a laugh here. I saw this tweet this morning. Tobias Harris genuinely needs investigating. Listen, Tobias got his revenge a couple weeks ago. But last night, he reverted into Tobias Harris. He's averaging less than 13 points per game on the season. He is doing exactly what we thought he would do. And he finishes 1 for 8. He missed the layup last night. The Pistons got a glorified mid-role player. That's what they got for $26 million. He wasn't the only guy that stunk up the joint last night, but really it was the bench that was trying to keep the Pistons in, other than Jaden Ivey, Malik Beasley. And again, I'm not going to sit here and just, pump my chest out about a win. Cade Cunningham was scratched at the end, but it was a convincing win. It wasn't just like a squeak by type of game. Sixers actually controlled from beginning to finish, and a big part of that was because Tobias Harris runs around for 23 minutes and does cardio. So the only reason I'm even bringing this up is because there's been a lot of comments recently like, oh, well, maybe the Sixers should have kept Tobias Harris, and maybe he's better than Paul George. Look, as bad as PG has looked so far, Tobias Harris is 10 times worse. So good luck in Detroit. Anyway, what did the Sixers do last night? Why were they actually running a competent offense? Why did the team look energized? This was the Energizer Bunny game. Like, why was everybody out of nowhere just playing hard and looking like they were coming together? They have, I'd say, the last couple of games. The Rockets game was a valiant effort, even though they blew that one in overtime. But why was it? It's because Nick Nurse actually played the young guys. Stop me if you've heard that before. Stop me if you've said that before. Every game on the postgame, we literally sit up here and we say, Nurse, you got to try something else. Nurse, play the young guys. Nurse. And look, I don't know if it's on Nurse. I don't know if it's on the front office. Whoever's call it is. How come you haven't played the young guys yet? The Sixers have struggled every game this season. They immediately look electric. They look rapid. They look up-tempo. They look like they're swarming. They're everywhere. Ricky Council last night drops 17 points, 5 for 7 from the field, 5 rebounds, an assist, and a steal and a block in 27 minutes. Ricky Council added some juice to this team. Is he perfect? No. He's an undrafted player. But last year, we saw glimpses of this at the end of the season. And no, he did not show flashes of that in summer league and in training camp, but young guys need consistent opportunities to play. You need to give them minutes so they can actually build up some rhythm. We've seen that how many times over the last 4 or 5 years? You give Ricky Council back-to-back games here where he's playing real minutes, and he looks incredible. Ricky Council can actually add something to this team. He has young, fresh legs. And when Andre Drummond goes down in the first 5 minutes of the game, which, by the way, the Sixers do still feel very cursed. PG gets banged up again last night. Andre Drummond has the best start to his season so far. 4 minutes, 4 points, 3 rebounds, and a steal. and he's playing great basketball. And then he comes down on the foot of Tobias Harris. So Tobias Bigfoot Harris, thank you for hurting one of our players. Again, I know he didn't do it on purpose, but it's just, it's the Sixers' luck of the draw. But anyway, Drummond goes down. What does Nick Nurse have to do since he started Yabusele and Andre Drummond together? Well, Drummond's down. He has to play Adem Bona, the guy we've been screaming about for the last month and a half. Is Adem Bona perfect? No, he's a second-round pick, but he's 21 years old. He is hungry. He attacks. He's aggressive. Adem Bona comes in his basketball game and immediately makes an impact. He's setting hard screens. He's moving around. He's defending well. He is blocking shots. He's maybe the best shot blocker on the team. We love Andre Drummond, but he does not have the speed. He does not have the quickness. He doesn't have that additional layer anymore like we saw from Adem Bona, a 21-year-old who has one of the craziest motors. I mean, that was literally on his scouting report. Like, this guy needs to develop an offensive game, but he is going to give you 120% every single night. He reminds me of early B-ball Paul, where, you know, the guy was just making hustle play after hustle play. I think Adem Bona is a little more talented, but again, looking into the future, it's going to come down to the same thing. Can he develop an offensive game? But on the defensive side, like, if things have not been working for the first 17 games, why not try something else? And you bring Adem Bona in, and the guy is everywhere, and he immediately makes a defensive impact. Adem Bona last night plays 20 minutes, 4 points, 5 rebounds, 3 blocks. Wasn't perfect, but you could just feel the energy of the game change. And in the second quarter, when the Sixers were up 18 and Adem Bona came out and Nurse shifted Yabusele into the 5, they blew the whole lead. It got down to 5. I love Yabusele. I think he's a great power forward option for this team, and he did have 8 rebounds last night, but he's not a natural rebounder. Similar to what I say about Embiid, not exactly the same comparison, but Yabusele doesn't know how to box out. He doesn't know how to really establish his positioning down there. Adem Bona comes right in. You could tell this guy knows how to rebound, and Yabusele should not play the 5. Should Andre Drummond now get pushed behind Adem Bona? I mean, he's going to be hurt and be out, so we should see more Adem Bona. But even when healthy, like, is Adem Bona the better option at this point? I don't want to go over the ledge and say, well, you know, start Adem Bona, all this and that. But we've been preaching for how long now to play the young guys, and they immediately made an impact. Eric Gordon played 10 minutes last night. He is so slow. He cannot make any quality plays. Kyle Lowry is still out. And Nick Nurse needs to realize now, even when you look at KJ Martin, who had a career game last night, this guy's blocking shots left and right. He is throwing down high flyers, cutting baseline. KJ Martin was actually shooting the ball last night. 19 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 blocks. With KJ Martin, with Adem Bona, with Ricky Council, the Sixers can play a better suited style of basketball. When I said build around Maxey McCain, I didn't say get rid of Embiid, PG, and everybody else. I said they need to start playing through their guards, play faster, play up tempo. We saw another glimpse of that last night, and it worked. Now, again, they're playing the dog crap Pistons. How will it look against a better team? We got to wait and find out. But everybody was getting better looks. They were moving around. PG immediately came in to start the game and was finding guys open looks. Paul George got hurt again last night. A lot of people frustrated that Podcast P cannot stay healthy, and he has hyperextended his knee twice, but now this was the other knee, and he went to dive for a loose ball. I don't even know how he got beat to this one. Simone Fontecchio dives, and there you can see his right knee get caught under Fontecchio. Now, he did not return to the game, but the Sixers pretty much, had already won. There was 8:40 left in the game. So, is PG hurt? I mean, he talked after the game. He sounded to be fine. Hopefully he's not out again now for, a week and a half, 2 weeks. I mean, we just got to hope, man. But it is frustrating that you bring in these players who are supposed to be premier options, premier weapons, and the guy's already been hurt 3 times. These old guys, their body just cannot handle the force of the game anymore. Like, they just can't stay up to par with some of these younger cats. So, hopefully Paul George is healthy. I thought he did some good things last night. I think he got a little bit away from the aggression as the game went on, but it didn't matter. Even with Jared McCain, who, by the way, had no shot attempts in the first half. He finishes 3 for 7 with 7 points, but McCain's struggling now, you know, and is that cause for concern? Like, should we be concerned about Jared McCain? I don't think we should yet. I mean, the guy literally carried this team for the first stretch of the season, but last night and games before, they're putting athletic wings on Jared. You know, last night it was Ron Holland, who was all over him and who's a really good young defender, and the Sixers are going to have to find ways to scheme open Jared McCain now. It's not just easy as, hey, who's this guy? And he starts cooking, you know? So they're going to have to find ways to get him open. I want him to kind of seek out some of these shots, and he came off the bench last night because Reggie Jackson was out. So we'll see if Nurse goes back to him in the starting 5, but I don't think Jared McCain should be a cause for concern just yet. Lastly, the 76ers reveal their plan. According to Mike Chiari of Bleacher Report, he says, according to ESPN's Tim Bontemps, league sources do not believe the Sixers will make a full-on attempt to keep their draft pick this upcoming year, due largely to the fact that they have hardly had their best lineup available. Pretty much saying, once we get healthy, once we get back, this team's going to be good, and we're still going to try to trade the pick to upgrade our roster this season and contend. What do you guys think about that? I know a lot of people will be frustrated. Look, after one win against the Pistons, I'm not ready to go the distance and say they're back. This could be a great confidence builder, momentum booster, but they have to do it for a lot longer. They're still 10 games under 500, and I think we need to wait and see before they make any declarations on this. I think, you know, December 15th, January 15th, those are the dates to look at. So if they cannot get Embiid back, if they can't get everybody on the same page in the next couple weeks, then maybe they do end up tanking, they keep the pick, etc. Good draft class coming up. Or if they somehow can turn this thing around, then they try to go out and upgrade, and maybe KJ will boost his value a little more in terms of a potential trade. Do you agree or disagree with this philosophy? Let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comment section. And as always, appreciate everybody for tapping in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.